Alright, so this one is going to be about matrix multiplication. I know you guys asked me to create this video. So we got these two matrices, A and B, and we're going to multiply them. But in order to multiply, order matters big time when you multiply matrices together. So first off, you want to find their dimensions. So remember, when we look at the matrices, we always want to figure out how many rows and how many columns. And when we write the dimensions, it's rows by columns. So this first one is going to be a 3 by 2 matrix, because you have 3 rows and then 2 columns. And this one is going to be a 2 by 2 matrix. Now when you multiply matrices, you want to make sure that the columns of your first matrix match up the rows of your second matrix. And if that's true, then your resulting matrix will be those two outside remaining numbers. So I know that my resulting matrix is going to end up being a 3 by 2 matrix. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to draw my 3 by 2 resulting matrix. And I'm going to start to identify each of those individual elements. So row 1, column 1, row 1, column 2, and so forth. Now the reason I'm going to do that is because it's actually telling me what row in matrix A and what column in matrix B I'm going to multiply with. So I'm going to identify, if I want to identify that first element in row 1, column 1, I'll take my row 1 in matrix A, which is 0, negative 1. I'm going to multiply it to column 1 in matrix B, which is 3, negative 4. So when I do that, I'm going to create this bigger matrix. 0 times 3 is going to get me 0, and then I'm going to multiply negative 1 times negative 4 and add those values together. All right, so that's my row 1, column 1. I'm going to jump over to row 1, I'm still in row 1, I'm sorry, row 1, column 2. So I'll take 0 times negative 4 and get 0. Negative 1 times negative 1 is a positive 1. Now I'll do the same thing repeatedly. So now I jump down to row 2. So negative 5 and negative 1 is going to get multiplied to 3 and negative 4 because it's row 2, column 1. So if negative 5 times 3 is negative 15. And then negative 1 times negative 4 is 4. Just keep going and keep going and keep going until you have all those elements figured out. Do your addition, and then your resulting matrix, which is a 3 by 2, should be 4, 1, negative 11, 21, and 31, negative 16. Right, so main thing, can you actually multiply these? Check your dimensions, and then once you have your resulting matrix, if you can multiply, and once you have a resulting matrix like this one, the 3 by 2, go ahead and start to identify each of those individual pieces, those elements. So like I said, if you wanted to find row 3, column 2, you take row 3 of matrix A, multiply it to column 2 of matrix B, and multiply those individual elements and add them up, and you'll get your element in your resulting matrix.